Pool 8, they go to welcome each other and complete the formalities. Khan Safak just going through shot. It's a tough one to call, this game. Turkey and Japan relatively evenly matched. The Japanese came through third from Oceania, Asia. There's the Turkish team list. Look out for Gurbalak. Look out for Cem Gazinski. Kundogdu will start as well. Ferit Gamush, another player, Istanbul based, who will have an influence. There is 6'7", Tashatin Chipa, the coach of Turkey. The European Championships back in 2015 before losing in the final to Great Britain. The Turks went 7 games unbeaten, and there's the Japanese lineup for confirmation. Ryo Fujimoto, the captain. Chokai will wear 0, unusually. And look out for number 55, Hiroaki Kozai. What a player he is, and what an influence he has. And Shinpei Oikawa, the coach of the team, the mastermind, the man with the plays. He'll be telling them what's what and how they're going to overcome this tough Turkish team. Recent Japanese form, they were involved in the continental clash in Great Britain, where they lost 3 and won 2. They beat Canada and the Netherlands there, but lost to Australia, USA and Great Britain. There's the starting 5, Gurbalak, Gazinski, Kundogdu, Gamush and R of Turkey. So that's 5, 10, 11, 35 and 77 are the ones to look out for. They go for 3 bigs. Kundogdu, Gamush and R. Gurbalak's pretty big himself. And there are the Japanese starting 5. Toyoshima, Fujimoto, the captain, Chiwaki, Fuji and Kozai. Kozai will be the playmaker. He'll score a lot of their points. Fujimoto equally will have a lot to do. And the crowd will have a lot to cheer between these two as we get going here at the Karaoke One Arena. Men's wheelchair basketball at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. So welcome to the action. Pool A, Turkey versus Japan, the men's wheelchair basketball, the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. The Japanese and the Turks have done all the talking they can do. The preparations are over. The opening ceremony is finished. The apprehension is done and dusted now. It's time to get on court and let your players do the talking. The Japanese fans are here in force. Great to see. It's a long way from Japan to Rio. But they're here to cheer on their boys. They'll do so in force. The referees for this one, Christian Roha, Jaigun Lee and Yusuf Al-Abid. You'll see there are 1 referee and 2 umpires. Roha is the referee. And he is with the ball in hand. And the 2 umpires on either flank at the moment. Jaigun Lee in the top of our picture, over near the technical delegates table, and down in the bottom of the picture, Yusuf Al-Abid. Just shaking hands with Ferit Gamush. Is Ismail R, one of the forwards for Turkey. And Turkey winning the tap, and they're underway for their Pool 8 wheelchair basketball efforts at the 2016 Rio Paralympic Games. Kozai of Japan, ball in hand, thinks about the shot, dinks inside instead, and the shot's nowhere near, unfortunately, for Chiwaki. And the Turks come away through Gurbalak. Gurbalak will look to dominate. 4-point player, so as I said, 14 points taken up. For any team, the maximum points you can be within the classification system. As Turkey look to take their first points of the game, they do so through their number 10, Cem Gazinski, an experienced head. Gazinski, 4.5-point player. So each team has 14 points within the classification system that they can play up to a maximum of. And across the 5 players, there is a mix of individual points from a 1-point player to a 4.5-point player. The 1-point players tend to have a greater impairment. That will not count. The referee signalled a 3-second violation, which means the offensive player was sat within the green painted area, the key, for more than 3 seconds. And as it was an offensive infringement, Turkey in the white, who are 2-0 up, come away with the ball. And they find their ball carrier, Özgür Gerbalak. An absolute star for this team. Gazinski, who scored the first points of the game, thinks about the long 2 from the right-hand side. The shot clock counting down, 24-second shot clock in wheelchair basketball. Long effort goes up, hits the ring and comes down. Every time a shot goes up, has to go up within the 24 seconds or be released within the 24, and it has to hit the rim to count as a shot, the rim of the basket. Kozai doesn't get anything for that effort from just on the top of the key. The foul called against the number 55. Each player in wheelchair basketball, as in the able-bodied game, has 5 fouls before they get fouled out of the game. You'll see here the Turkish player, Gazinski, didn't deviate off his line. Kozai came across and went crunching into the wheels of the Turkish number 10, and that was why the foul was called. And Kozai picks up his first. Lovely pass to our off the glass for 2. That is superb wheelchair basketball from Turkey, who looked very good in the opening exchanges. And Ismail Art, 1.5-point player, making no mistake with the layup. Kozai, finger roll off the glass, off the rim and down. And Japan yet to affect the scoreboard. Are on that occasion couldn't hold on to the ball. Gazinski frustrated with himself. The Turks definitely a team on the rise. Kozai for Japan, down the right-hand side. No one in the key for the Japanese, just the number 13, Chiwaki, was waiting. He's been in the key a long time and needs to be careful here. The shot goes off and it's good from Fujimoto, the captain. Japan were slightly fortunate there because Chiwaki was sat inside the key for a long time. It went unnoticed and Fujimoto put the basket away. 4-2 the score. Turkey with a very early lead indeed. Gerbalak. Back to Gerbalak it goes. That was clever play by Gundogdu. Nothing on that occasion though for Turkey. Kozai and the foul on the play. Not far from being an unsportsmanlike foul, that one, which would have a different consequence from what was given here. As you see Kozai racing down court, and Gundogdu, well, he almost rugby tackled Kozai in the end. Picks up his first foul of the game. Kozai, in fact it's Gundogdu who's down, the fouler. There's the foulee, Kozai. And he'll know who's in a game. Star for Japan. It may well be in the Turks' plans to stop Hiroki Kozai at any extent. Kozai spins away from Ismail Art into Fujimoto, who we've already seen his effect in front of the basket today. And Kozai, free rein to the basket, off the glass. That's what he can do. So effective when he gets going. Gazinski under the basket, the long pass and the simple 2 makes it 6-4 to the Turks. Kozai, who studied at Illinois State University under the great coach Michael Frogley, the former Canadian coach. Fujimoto ties us up at 6 points apiece here. Men's pool 8. Turkey in white, Japan in black, 6 points apiece. Very early days though. both in terms of Paralympic 2016 campaigns for these two, but also terms of the game. A long, long way to go. Wheelchair basketball is a frenetic sport, a course of 4 quarters, 10 minutes per quarter. Each game tends to take longer than 40 minutes due to the start and stoppages of the flow of the game. Fujimoto at the top of the key, sinks the 2, no problem for him. Fujimoto has 6 points of Japan's 8, and he's 3 from 3 from the floor so far. The captain enjoying his Rio experience at the moment. Ferret just using the motion of the chair to his advantage. Good defense here from the Japanese, but eventually Ishmael under the basket. He makes no mistake himself. Takes himself to 4 points personal for the game and 2 from 3 from field goals. Kozai just waits and assesses the options. This is a shooting masterclass at the moment from that man, Fujimoto. Plays for Miyagi Max in Japan. Long 3 put up, doesn't go that time for Gerbalak. And Kozai once more can hold on to the ball and look to be instrumental for his team. It's Fujimoto who gets the ball essentially punched away from him. And Dogdu flicks it back, well played. Ferret turns, looking for the options. International debut back in 2002 for the number 35, but the ball goes out of play and it's Gerbalak who ends up on his back on the floor. Don't worry too much about players falling out of their chairs. If you've never seen the sport of wheelchair basketball before, it's a very, very common occurrence. The players are totally used to it. Yes, it can sometimes hurt, but it's part of the game. And with the aggression that teams show at this level, or even in fact at the beginners level, it's a common occurrence in the sport. It's not unusual at all. Kozai down the right hand side, just checks once more into Kiwa, nothing there, and away comes Gajinski. Long pass, lovely long pass. Gerbalak, that's all he needs. Says thank you very much for the opportunity. Plays for Beşiktaş in Istanbul. One of the best players in Europe, in the world, and definitely in Turkey, and it's 10 apiece. Kozai to Fujimoto. What a pass from Fujimoto, and it goes as well. And it's Toyoshima, the guard, who extends Japan into the lead once more. 2-point player Toyoshima. Hails from Fukushima. Gajinski off the glass, comes back to him off the rim, which means he gets a reset on the 24-second clock. And we're tied at 12 apiece. Kozai into the paint himself, down for 2 off the glass. Comfortable stuff from the number 55 for Japan, and a strong start by both teams. No nerves shown as yet. Kozai, 4 points personal now for the match. The Japanese looking to tighten up their defences. Kozai comes out to meet Gerbalak, and then just is forced away from his man. Gungdongdu off the rim, and in it goes for Ferret Gamush. Gamush, another Beşiktaş player. In fact, used to be a Beşiktaş player, now plays for İzmirspor. 14 apiece. Kozai thinks about the long 2 from the angle, decides not to take it on, and Japan happy to move the ball around, and it's Toyoshima once more who shot. Didn't go anywhere that time for him. And Turkey can relax away from the basket into an offense with the ball. 14 apiece. Only 50% shot for the Japanese so far. We're heading towards the end of the first quarter. It's been a lively first quarter. A great welcome to the Paralympic Games of 2016 for these two teams. Kozai off the glass and two again. And they come in for a timeout. There's plenty to talk about between these two teams. The coaches want to have a discussion with their teams, but positive all around. Japan 16, Turkey 14. No doubt both teams will just be worrying more currently about their defensive strategies. Offensively, they're both hitting well. They're both finding range, which in these early games is important. 53% from the field for Japan. Faces 58% from the field for the team in white Turkey. That's what Kozai can do, and how good he can be. Finding the basket infrequently in that first quarter, but picked up 6 points and added a lot more to the game than those 6 points suggest so far. Not a bad return for the first. 8 for Fujimoto though. Chokai comes in. Shuchiko comes in. Miyajama. So changes for the Japanese. Here's Gerblak though, started the game and starts the points tally for the return from the timeout. 16 apiece. Heading into the last minute of the quarter. Interesting that Japan have rung the changes at that timeout. Off the glass and nothing there. Gerblak can control for his team. It was Chokai unable to get the finger roll successful. Now each team have to get the ball over the halfway line inside 8 seconds. Lovely pass. Doesn't go. Gajinski out rebounded by Suchiko. He's there again though. And that time Cem Gajinski makes no mistakes whatsoever. His international debut came in 2010 against Algeria at the World Championships in Birmingham, Great Britain. And he's having a great start to these Paralympic Games. Nothing there on that occasion for the number 18 Nagata. As the buzzer goes at the end of the first quarter, and the score, Turkey 18, Japan 16. It's a close run thing, this one, at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. The end of the first quarter, and the Turks have a 2-point lead.
Hey guys, I want to see all the beautiful flags that we have on the arena. So if you have a flag, shake and wave it. This is my flag.
And there's the statistics for the first half. Turkey 50% from the field goals, 47% for Japan. No 3-point goals successful so far, although Turkey have attempted 3 of them. There's just a couple of minutes break between the quarters. Great technique from Ismail Art to find the basket for the Turks. Gajinski has helped himself so far in that first 10-minute quarter to 8 points. Lovely roll off the glass for 2. The Brazilian flags waving in every arena here in Rio. day one of the Paralympic Games 2016. Ishikawa gets the second quarter underway for Japan. Japan with a 2-point deficit currently. Here is Ishikawa, just waiting on the edge of the key. Finds Kozai, who's returned to action. Just sat out the last minute of the first quarter. Puts the shot up and sinks it. No problems at all for the number 55. 8 points personal for the game. Only 2 shots missed so far in this one. But Hikoaki Kozai. Kaczynski off the rim and down for 2. And everything Japan ask of the Turks, they come back with interest. Kozai once more. Holds on to possession for his team. Finds Fujimoto. These two, such an influential pairing for the Japanese team. If Turkey can close down that pairing, they may find they close down the Japanese threat. But those two equally, Kaczynski and Gerbalak, have a huge threat for Turkey. Gerbalak misses on that occasion and slaps the ball away in an attempt to keep hold of possession, but can't do so. 20-18 the score. Chawaki, the number 13, started for his team. No points to his name so far. Of course, Japan qualified by beating South Korea in the bronze medal match at the Asia Oceania qualifying event. As we see Gerbalak going off court, and that's why Japan will restart with the ball. They won 80-56 against the Koreans. Fujimoto hit 28 of them and Kozai 22, which shows you the impact those two, who just exchanged passes, can have on this team in black, Japan. Kozai once more attempts the shot. The whistle had gone for the foul. It's a holding foul. I believe it was against Gerbalak. Lovely from Kozai, using the players around him to perfection. Ishikawa was helping him get through, and there's 2 more points to his name to bring it back to a tied game at 20 apiece. Still early stages here, not long gone in the second quarter, but this is how good the Japanese can be when they get going. Screens were set fantastically by Toyoshima, who's now working tirelessly in defence. Three-point goes up and down from Gerbalak. That's the range this man has got. Made his debut back in 2001 at the European B Division Championships in the Czech Republic. And the range he has means he really can shoot from anywhere. That's him to 7 points for the game now. He's made 1 from 4 from outside that 3-point line, which is exactly the same as in the able-bodied game. The court exactly the same, the rim exactly the same height. Turkey will have possession. Court violation from the Japanese. You can't return into your own half once you've left it in the same play. Gerbalak just struggles away from Ishikawa. Substitution's going to be made for Japan. In comes number 15, that's Fujishingo. He's a 1.5 point player. Hails from Akita. Akita, a former skier. Gerbalak Shoots from the edge of the key and sinks the two with ease, and that's Turkey out to a 5-point lead now, the biggest of the game so far. And it leaves the Japanese with something serious to think about. It's not a huge lead. But they then turn the ball over as well. And all that does is gives Turkey another chance to come back. There is Fuji. Timeout called by the Japanese. And they've got a lot to discuss here because suddenly Turkey have just edged away from them and taken up a 5-point hold on the game. That three-pointer from Gerbalak, so important. Both coaches very, very focused indeed. Kozai having his say on what should happen and how they should go about breaking down these Turkish defences. All smiles from the Japanese fans. They won't be too concerned at the moment. Still 26 minutes and 56 seconds of real-time action in this Pool A match at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Gerbalak, Kaczynski under the basket, doesn't find the first one. We've seen this before from him. He was fortunate the foul was called. He was then facing the wrong way and it would have been a struggle to turn in time to get the shot away. Turkey, though, will have the possession of the ball. We'll reset the shot clock because they're in the offensive half. It'll only be a 14-second shot clock. That's the one difference. 24 seconds if you go from your own half, 14 inside the other team's half. Gerbalak spins, paid close attention by Toyoshima. Oh, lovely pass, but there goes the shot clock, and it's a shot clock violation. Selim Sayak looking frustrated, the 2.5-point player. Of course, within this classification system, what it does mean is having a maximum of 14 points available, and then the individual breakdown of points per player. Each coach has to really think about who can go on court at any one time. It can't always just be one player for another. It has to be within the points total of the classification, so they will have a lineup set for all eventualities. Lovely pass up to Dalai, and good for two. And Khan Dalai, he's a 2-point player. Plays for Besiktas himself, as many of these Turkish players do. One of the most successful teams in Turkey. Lovely pass, Tokushima doesn't go on that occasion. Toyoshima turns away and gets the applause from his team. Gerbalak asks the question, but he's going to get the foul added to his name. He's still confused as to why it was given. Substitutions made for Japan. In comes Sushiko, along with Fujisawa. Miyagima as well into the play. Toyoshima closes the gap to 6. Misses the second one there, Toyoshima. Well picked up though by Chokai. And back to Miyajima it is. 4-point player, born in Toyama, finds a lovely pass, and that's good play by Japan. A stroke of luck to get the ball back to Miyajima. He waits on the right-hand side of the key, and that is a shot clock violation. That basket will not count to the total. 27-21, Turkey lead the way by 6 here. Delight restarts the action. Gerbalak over on the right-hand side. Very few up with him. Retreating was Gundogdu to set a screen for a player coming through. Still, not many options. Oh, lovely pass, but unholdable for Sayak, who spins and finds Gajinski. Oh, it's just not falling for either team at the moment. Japan can come away with it, and it's Miyajima. So Shiko. Right-handed. From outside. Easy run to the basket here for Delight, and good for 2 once more, and he's making a habit of scoring important layups and stretching his team away. 29-21. 4.5 left in the first half here. Rio 2016 Paralympic Games men's pool A. Oh, great effort there from Nagata. Out it goes. And Japan, I think, will get the ball back. No, they won't. Turkey will have the possession. Delay goes over to inbound the ball. Out goes Sushiko. Gundogdu leaves for the Turks. 2 slaps on the back, and congratulations. The coach, Chipa, 6'7", parading the touchline. There are the leading scorers, 10 apiece for Gajinski and Kozai. Gerbalak and Fujimoto 9 and 8 apiece. 29-21 the score. Gajinski fading away. Inside to Delay, and he couldn't find the basket that time. Fujimoto and Kozai. And Kozai again, quickly fouled. It was Selim Sayak who did the fouling. Knew what he was doing there, put his hand up straight away. It's a very tactical game, wheelchair basketball. There are times where players may rather give away the foul than allow the likes of this man to find a simple way to the basket, and there may have been a call for a foul there as well, but play continues, nothing given by the referees. Kozai from outside, hits the rim, comes down, and Gajinski once more is the man to do the defensive rebounding. Gerbalak having to weave. Lovely pass. Sayak that time unable to make it count. Kozai almost has the ball stripped away. Fujimoto for the 3, doesn't go. And Delight can pick up the defensive rebound for the team in white Turkey. Gerbalak just calming things down for his team. Attempts the 3 himself, nowhere near on that occasion, but will get the stroke of luck as Fujimoto couldn't hold on to the ball. Substitutions being made by Turkey. The score, 2:52 left in the second half, is the second quarter. Turkey 29, Japan 21. Gerbalak for Turkey, inbounds the ball. Thinks about the 3, decides this time it's not available to him. Will dink pass in, up off the glass, too much that time from the number 77, Ismail R. R is a low point player, 1.5 points he takes up of his team's 14 available. Timeout called with an 8 points difference. Turkey 29, Japan 21, 2:41 left in the second quarter. There's no worry for the Japanese. There's Gerbalak with the finger roll two-pointer. Kozai is saying anything you can do, I can do just as well. Such a powerful player, Oscar Gerbalak. Japanese are keeping us waiting at the moment. Turkey are, well, they're semi-ready to restart the action. Gerbalak just getting some treatment. Plays for Beşiktaş RMK. And that is important because there is also a Beşiktaş JK. And here we go, we're back underway. That is, of course, Beşiktaş in the Turkish league. Anyone who doesn't follow Turkish wheelchair basketball, as I'm sure there are a number listening. Fujimoto, lovely pass off the glass, and it's good for two. The whistle had gone, but because the shot was away from Toyoshima and it went, it is given by the referee, and he will also have a free throws over finger roll off the glass and in for two, and that is a really important and good play from the Japanese, and that's why the Turks are grimacing. That was Dennis Açar on screen. The Turkish number 9. Toyoshima will be at the line for 2 points. The number 2 just waiting in the left-hand side of our shot. And he'll be looking to bring this back to a 5-point ball game. He's made 2 from 3 now from the line, Toyoshima. Not long to go before the buzzer for half-time, and Japan will be wanting to at least still be within 3 or 4 points at half-time. Yavuz into the game. Guzynski with Ferret just inside, doesn't get the shot. Here's Art, who's scored some important points today for his team. That falls short again as the number 99, Ibrahim Yavuz, ends up on the floor, and once more it's Kozai who comes away for his team, somehow finds a way through, and then is rudely stopped by Guzynski. And you'll see here, I said it's quite common for players to end up on the floor in wheelchair basketball. Kozai just flipping himself straight back up into the chair. Incredible upper body strength in this sport. Look at the biceps and triceps on Hiroaki Kozai. And also behind him, the number 13 was Mitsugu Chiwaki. Kozai makes it 25 for Japan. What a game he's having at the moment. 1 from 1 from the free-throw line. 11 points for the game. Misses the second. Comes away with 50% from the line on that occasion. Ferret looks for the pass to Guzynski, who's in the paint a long time, and there's a 3-second violation. You see the referee putting three fingers out, and that tells you that Guzynski was sat there for far too long. Studied for sports masters at university. On that occasion, he was sat inside the key for far, far too long. Kozai whips it over to Fujimoto, off the glass. Doesn't go that time for Fujimoto, who's been so hot today so far. 8 points for the game. He's only shooting 50% from the field now. Here's Fujimoto once more. would have counted. Toyoshima is down on the ground and he'll flip himself back up and in, makes it look so simple. 2-point player, so he's at relatively severe impairment for the game. You can have anything from below the knee amputations to maybe a severe knee injury or knee replacement, hip replacement. Anything that stops a player from playing able-bodied sport potentially can get them classified. Team of classifiers through the IWBF, the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation, linked to the International Paralympic Committee with their classifying, and they work out how the classifications break down, and that's how the teams are made up individually. Away comes Fujimoto, 4.5-point player himself. Kozai, 3.5-point player, and that's because he has 2 below knee amputations on each leg. Loses the ball, and it's a scrappy period of play this. 29 to Turkey, 25 Japan, 12.1 seconds left in the half. And that buzzer signals that Yavuz is going to be substituted. He was about to inbound the ball. Out he goes. Back in comes Gerbalak and Kaczynski. Kaczynski, who at the moment has 10 points personal for the game, which makes him the leading scorer for his team. And they've called a timeout after all that, so both the coaches will have a discussion. Turkey 29, Japan 25. Coach Cheaper working through the plays. Only 12.1 seconds left in the half means both offensively and defensively you have to be on your game. There's enough time, well, potentially to score twice if teams are really clever. You'll see there the number 3 just to the right of where the Japanese bench is. That's the team's team fouls. They've got 3, they're allowed 5. If they get beyond 5 in the half, then it will go to automatic free throws for any foul. Gerbalak to inbound. Turkey, 4-point advantage. We're very close to the end of the first half here, and they make it 31-25. What an effort that was by Ferit Gumush, and there goes the hooter for the end of the first half, and a really exciting first half it was too. Turkey leading the way. As hard as Japan tried, they just couldn't quite keep with them. The score at the end of the first, Turkey 31, Japan 25.
Parcial do primeiro período, 18-16, aí do segundo período, Turquia 13, Japão 9, na somatória, por enquanto até agora, Turquia 31, Japão 25.
And there's the score. The score at half-time here in the men's wheelchair basketball Group A. Turkey 31, Japan 25. Loads more action to come in the second half. This one on a knife edge. And there are the statistics. 44% against 38% of field goals. Turkey leading the way by 6% there. 3-point field goals, 20% to none successful for Japan. Free throws, well, nothing at all given by the Japanese to the Turks, so they haven't got any scored at all for Japan. 3 from 5. Defensive rebounds, 15, play 12. Both evenly matched here at Karaoke 1. The crowd will have enjoyed that first half, and hopefully they'll enjoy the second in a close Pool A match in the wheelchair basketball, the first men's match to be seen at the Karaoke 1 Arena. Young and old enjoying it. We'll be back with plenty more for the second half. Turkey 31, Japan 25.
Enjoying this wonderful match. It's time for us to
venho de São Paulo e eu venho para o Rio ensaiar hoje aqui, volto amanhã, então estou vindo todo dia e voltando para São Paulo, porque era um desejo meu estar aqui nessas Paralimpíadas, que eu acredito que seja uma das grandes formas de inclusão que nós temos no nosso país e no nosso mundo até.
O que você viu de mais surpreendente aqui nas Paralimpíadas até agora? O que mais chamou sua atenção?
Eu acho que essa integração das pessoas que enxergam com as outras que não enxergam, que é o trabalho que eu tenho buscado nesses anos de dança, nos 13 anos de dança, mostrar o mundo do deficiente, do diferente, se aproximando do mundo da pessoa considerada normal. Esses dois mundos eles são muito distantes e eles só vão se aproximar quando o portador de deficiência fizer algo interessante e a pessoa que enxerga admire.
Qual a principal emoção de estar participando da cerimônia de abertura das Paralimpíadas em Rio 2016?
Eu tinha um sonho grande que era participar de um evento como esse. Com palavras eu não consigo definir essa emoção aqui que está dentro do Maracanã. O Maracanã é o lugar onde eu queria estar, onde eu estou. E podendo mostrar esse trabalho para o mundo, essa inclusão, né, que não é um trabalho individual.
Em uma palavra, define esse momento que você está vivendo aqui hoje.
Felicidade.
Tá cheia de gente bonita, que nem esses dois irmãos que eu encontrei aqui. Vocês são cariocas? Como é teu nome?
Lucas.
E o seu?
Pedro.
Lucas e Pedro, irmãos cariocas, estão aqui prestigiando o basquetebol em cadeira de rodas. Tá gostando do jogo?
Sim.
Pra quem você tá torcendo hoje?
Olha, pra ninguém.
Pra ninguém. Eles estão...
Pros dois.
Assim é bom que você fica feliz de qualquer maneira, entendeu? Quem ganhar tá bom o negócio. E você?
Sim.
Eles estão felizes com qualquer negócio. Então vamos fazer o seguinte, eu vou testar os conhecimentos de vocês com uma pergunta que vai aparecer ali, ó, no telão. A trivia question. So, let's try your knowledge, people. Vamos ver qual é a pergunta que vai aparecer pra gente. When did wheelchair basketball make its Paralympic debut? Quando que o basquetebol em cadeira de rodas estreou nos Jogos Olímpicos? Eu sei essa resposta, hein? Vamos ver, as opções são em Roma, em 1960, em Tóquio, 1964, ou em 68, em Tel Aviv. Vamos lá, opção A, B ou C. Qual você acha, Lucas?
A B.
E você acha que é qual?
A C.
A C? Ih, gente, será que vai dar certo isso? Solta essa resposta aí pra gente ver. Como eu suspeitava, infelizmente. Ó, mas eu digo uma coisa, vocês empataram. Vocês não estão torcendo pra ninguém, quem também não estava torcendo pra ninguém se deu bem aqui, viu? Qual é a resposta?
Roma.
1960.
A letra A.
Exatamente, agora a gente já sabe, ou não é? Toca aqui, valeu. Valeu, Pedrão. Você também já sabe, you already know that. The debut was in 1960 in Rome. That's it. Agora eu tô aqui com um torcedor do Japão para testar o conhecimento dele também com uma trivia. Hi, how are you?
The second half of Japan and Turkey in men's pool A
Arigato.
in the preliminary stages of the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games.
Inglês, português,
We'll get
japonês.
underway in just over a minute and a half.
Let's see what's
Not long
next
to go.
for you.
Or minute 54 it says there. Minute 54 to go
So let's see what's
until
bringing for us.
these two start back again.
Each men's team
In the
also
first half,
medals
it was a close affair. It was a strong start from both teams. 31-25, 18-16 at the end of the first. That man, Fujimoto, played incredibly well. For Japan, the captain, 18-16 at the end of the first. Turkey led, but they went 13-9 in the second, which stretched their lead away. Gerbalak's a man to watch, the number 5. He's incredible when he gets going. And really can score some huge points when he wants to. Percentages-wise, well, 44% from the floor for the Turks. For Japan, it was 38%, which really is a little low in men's wheelchair basketball if you're looking for the top end of the game. But nerves will come into play here at the Paralympic Games. Teams may start a little bit slower than they would hope after all the build-up and all the hard work and the holding camps and the training and the apprehension.
Logo mais instantes, o terceiro período.
Score at half-time, Turkey 31, Japan 25. 2 more quarters of 10 minutes to go. In the second half of this Group A men's wheelchair basketball match, can Turkey hold on to the 6-point lead from the first half? We're about to find out. It will be inbounded by the team in white Turkey. So the second half underway. Selim Sayak got it going for Turkey and has the ball now. 2.5-point player, well met by Toyoshima, who has a slightly lower classification, the 2-point player, Gajinski. Cem Gajinski, 31 years of age. Gerbalak, slightly older, can't quite find his range to start the half. And it's Fuji Shingo who just takes up 1.5 points of the 14 available to coach Shinpei Oikawa. Oh, Toyoshima's been brilliant today, but the finger roll that time didn't work, and Delight can come away. Made his international debut back in 2003, the number 3 for Turkey. So Japan and Kozai. The man who will hold on to the ball a lot for Japan. He'll try and make things happen for the team in black. It clips the rim and comes away, although the shot clock didn't restart, so it wasn't counted as hitting the rim on that occasion. And Turkey straight away race away to take the points. It's Kandalai once more, 35 years of age. It's a spinal cord injury that put him in a wheelchair, the 2-point player. He's quick on a wheelchair basketball court. Gerbalak sends Delay away once more. The puff of the cheeks, the ruffle of the net, and another 2 points for Turkey, and it's a 10-point ball game. And that man, Delay, the perfect start to the second half for the team in white. Sayak eventually back into the play, having been picked out by the Japanese in the backcourt. Fujimoto back into the action for Japan after a stunning first half for him, where he picked up 10 points personal. 8 points personal in the first. He's now up to 10 for the game. The captain played just over 17 minutes in the match so far, so brief spells on the bench. Gerbalak, what a piece of shooting from him, the 3-pointer. That's 2 for the game for Özgür Gerbalak. And we're out to the biggest lead of the game for Turkey. 38-27, 11 points is the difference. Kozai up off the glass, and nothing there for Shingo. And Fujimoto then makes it 12 for the game, 50% from the field for him. 3-second violation called against Cem Gajinski. Used to play able-bodied basketball. There's a right knee trauma, which created his impairment and led him to taking up the wheelchair game. Kozai closely followed by Gerbalak, and you see Gerbalak just allowing Kozai to wheel on through, not wanting to give away another foul, Gerbalak, because it could put him in trouble later in the game. Lovely stuff from Chawaki, the number 13, and Kozai, as he goes to steal the ball, knocks the ball off, and Turkey have the possession. 38-31. And there's the difference between the two, 10% difference from the field goals. 2-point shots, of course, inside that white arch line that you can see. His 2 points outside of it is 3, and if they go to the free throw line, the white line at the top end of that green painted area, that's only utilised when a foul has occurred. And it means the team pick up 1. Great shooting once more. Kandalai again. 6 points for the period so far, and 6 very important points. 40-31 the score. Fuji and Kozai. Kozai looks up for Fuji, doesn't go to him, instead goes to Fujimoto, and he sinks the long 2, and it's a perfect technique from Fujimoto, who's out to 14 points personal for the half. The assist from Kozai, his 7th now of this game. 7 of 10 for Japan. 70% of the assists for Kozai. What a pass, but it's well picked off by Chawaki. And then Toyoshima Fujimoto. Oh, the ball just peeled away by Selim Sayak. Sayak, who took up the sport at 17 years of age, was able to just steal the ball away. Fuji of Japan. Kozai peels around the three-point line. Doesn't consider the three-pointer. Finds Fujimoto on the left-hand angle. Off the glass. Perfect shooting from him once more. And he really is hitting form here. 16 points for the game. Makes it look so easy. 40-35. Japan refusing to give up against Turkey here. Gerbalak already shown his range from the three-point efforts. He's had a couple, but Turkey wastes the opportunity, and it's these sort of points in the game which free up the chances for the Japanese to break down this 5-point lead of the Turks. Turkey, third at the World Championships in 2014. Japan finished 9th at Incheon in South Korea. They were beaten, they beat Colombia in the 9th, 10th place playoff. So, on paper, Turkey should be the stronger. Don't worry about that buzzer. It beat the buzzer, the shot. The pass is huge for Khan Delay, who turns on his own player in disgust and says, Selim Sayak, why did you get in my way? But I think actually the real conversation for Delay should have been had with himself there, dropping the ball. The shot clock doesn't start there until Kozai collects the basketball, which is why he allowed the ball, because he was uncontested, to roll for as long as he did. Lovely pass to the number 2, Toyoshima. High fives on the Japanese bench, and they're back within 3, and this really is a fine second half start by the Japanese. Gajinski on the left-hand side finds Gerbalak just fading away, and he spins to try and get around Fuji Shingo. Went up before the buzzer, well picked up by Sayak, but nothing there. That time defensive foul called. The player went out of court. It looks like Chouaki, you cannot go off the court. And he did, and it hands the ball back to Turkey. 3:56 left in the third. 40-37 the score, the timeout called.
Timeout Turkey. Tempo solicitado pela seleção da Turquia. Pouco menos de 4 minutos para o fim do terceiro período. Temos o placar parcial de Turquia 40, Japão 37. Basquetebol de cadeira de rodas.
Turkey need to tighten up their defences. They're a team that can play shootouts with the best of them, and by that I mean very high scoring games with the best of them. But we're seeing here, even with a 11-point lead, at the moment failing to close out the Japanese and allowing Japan back into the game. That's what Coach Chipa thinks, and what he thinks will make the difference to the team that were silver medalists at the Europeans in 2015. They lost 87-66 in the final against Great Britain, having beaten the Netherlands 69-50. The Netherlands, of course, they will play during Pool A here at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Gerbalak for Turkey. Into R, off the glass, 2 points. Easy stuff for Ismail R. Plays for Galatasaray. A huge club, a huge sports club in general in Turkey. Of course, famously for its football, but equally famously within wheelchair basketball. It's one of the top teams in Europe and the world. Nothing there for Fujimoto on that attempt. Gerbalak picked up the defensive rebound, and Ferret can come away. Gerbalak waves at his team to ask them to run some play or other. That's great play by Toyoshima. And once more, Turkey penalised. Japan just trying to create the overload on the Turks by keeping a player in the backcourt. Kozai spins again. Eventually, the Turkish player makes his way back in. It was Gundogdu. Kozai, like a spinning top currently. Goes once more on his axis. And away comes Gajinski for the Turkish team. Kozai just pats the ball down out of play. As the hooter goes, we've got a 5-point difference now. Turkey 42, Japan 37. Gerbalak inbounds for Turkey. Inside 10 seconds on the shot clock. Underneath the basket, can't find anything, and Fujimoto says thank you very much indeed. Kozai, to be careful not to catch the ball and then create a backcourt violation by going back over the halfway line. Kozai spins it to Fujimoto, who tilts on a wheel and sinks the two inside the paint. This is how good Fujimoto can be when Ryo Fujimoto gets going. 18 points personal for the game now. And we're within 3. 42-39, 150 left in the third. And Ishmael comes over to have a chat with the bench. Substitutions made, and once more it's a complete lineup change by the Japanese. Fujimoto heads off, as does the number 31. Ishikawa, Chiwaki, Kozai. This new lineup, Yajima goes out to defend. Gerbalak, though, gets the ball on the other side, and the Turks can't pick up any points on that occasion. Ferret to Gerbalak. No problems for him there, and yet another three-pointer for Ozgur Gerbalak. He's shooting them for fun today. 3 from 7. 45-39 the score. Over it goes to Sushiko, off the rim. The referee's whistle has gone. He's brought back into an upright position. The 30-year-old from Yalova in Turkey. And it will be 2 shots for Japan. 1 minute 2 left in the third. Sushiko at the line. The first is successful. His first points of the game. And the 4-pointer, who studied commerce at higher education level, cashes in from the free throw line. 41-45, Turkey with the 4-point lead. Pings it across. It rolls around and doesn't go that time for Achar. Dennis Achar into the game. He hasn't seen much action. Miyajima over to Sushiko. Sushiko off the rim and Down it falls for Gamush. Oscar Gerbalak stands 1.85 meters tall when he's out of his wheelchair. Lovely pass to Toprak, and down it goes for him. That was really good play by Urgar Toprak, the three-point player. And it means that Turkey once more stretch their lead again, 47-41. At the end of the third, they have a 6-point lead. It's Turkey 47, Japan 41.
Galera, eu tenho presente super especial aqui pra vocês, ó. Uma bola, e não é uma bola qualquer. Hoje de manhã a gente teve o jogo Brasil e Argentina, e quem autografou
And there are the statistics. 47-41 the score, 47% to 42. That's a little bit low for the men's wheelchair basketball section. 48% from field goals, 2-point field goals for Turkey. They'll be hoping to shoot better as the tournament goes on. They tend to be high scoring, the Turkish team. Back in London 2012, Turkey finished 7th at the London Paralympic Games, their only form at Paralympic Games, beating Poland in the 7/8 playoff. Here are the highlights of that third quarter so far. The Japanese in 2012, well, they finished 9th. They only won 2 games in the competition and beat Italy in the 9th-10th playoff. So very evenly matched if we look at their London 2012 Paralympic Games form. And evenly matched here. 10 minutes to go. And 6 points the difference. Fuji Shingo gets the fourth quarter underway. Japan have made another huge number of changes to that 5. They seem to be running 2 different 5s at a time at the moment and literally doing a line change whenever they decide to make a substitution. Fujimoto into the fourth and racks up another 2. 20 points now personal for the game. He's the highest scorer in the game by some margin. And Japan defending well, 5 points more than any other player. Fujimoto, Kozai, it bounces around and doesn't go. He's got 11 points for the game, but didn't add to his tally on that occasion. And Ismail R claims the foul. But he might want to worry more about catching the ball than claiming the foul, as that was not seen by the referee. 47 to Turkey, 43 to Japan. 9 minutes left to decide who will get their first win of the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Toprak, who we saw in the third quarter pick up a lovely basket. The backcourt violation's been given. And Toprak, 3-point player, born in Eskişehir here. Ferret. Gerbalak. Gerbalak shoots, good for 2. It's a player like Oscar Gerbalak that you need in times like this. (49-43), Kozai. For all his huff and puff, his hard work today, his graft, not really found the points that he would hope. Regularly the top scorer for the Japanese team. That man in picture Toyoshima has had an absolute blast of a game today. He's played superbly for 10 points from a 2-point player. That's a good return. Gerbalak goes for yet another 3. It won't go on that occasion, and Kozai and Japan remain just 4 down here. Just under 8 minutes left to go in their first game of the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Toyoshima looking to add to the 10 points he's got already. 4 from 7 from the 2-point field goals. Kozai once more unable to add to his tally, and Ferret sends the ball racing to Gerbalak, who's closely shadowed by Toyoshima. The Japanese back en masse to defend this Turkish star. Lovely pass to off the glass, doesn't go. Fuji Shingo comes in and claims the defensive rebound, and Japan can turn and race away. Kozai, Fujimoto, doesn't go. Gerbalak, the ball just bouncing off his shin and causing him some concern. Long 2, rattles around and falls kindly to Fujimoto with no points added to the total. Gerbalak's game has been mixed so far. 17 points though personal for the number 5 in shot there, doing his defensive duty. Kozai. Fujimoto tries to get away from top rack as Toyoshima, clever from him. Looks for the shot, tries to reverse it, doesn't manage to. Play will continue despite the buzzer going to signal the shot clock violation. Here is Toprak, Urga Toprak. Lives in Balıkesir. Oscar Gerbalak, a long time waiting for the play to open up. It does so, and he adds 2 and takes Turkey over 50. 51-45. And Japan are entering the danger zone now. They're heading towards 5 minutes to go. There's 6 points difference between these two. And Japan have been chasing this one since the early stages. Fujimoto off target and off range on that occasion. 10 from 19. The field goals for Fujimoto today. Achar, in he goes and down it goes. Denis Achar. He's a 2.5 point player. He manages to sink the basket for his team, stretching it now to 8 points the difference. And the Japanese need to come up with something here to break down this Turkish defense. They need to find their form once more. From inside to add simple points. It's about simple points still at this point. It's not about rushing. Let's have a listen to what the coaches are saying. Well, focusing down the left-hand side for the Turks' offense, the right-hand side of the Japanese defense. Great supporting for the Japanese today. And Turkey, all they need to do with 5 minutes left is close this out as some Turkish fans in as well. Great to see. 5:10 left in this Pool A match. Japan in the black, Turkey in the white. And Japan currently behind by 8. Kozai over to Fujimoto. Lovely ball handling skills between these two. Ishikawa involved. The points don't go though, and Turkey remain 8 points behind. The foul was called on the play. against Ryo Fujimoto, the number 4 for Japan. Gerbalak weaving this way, that way, into the paint, lines up the 2 points, finds the 2 points, 10 points the difference. Turkey at the moment clinical. This is what led them to the bronze medal in the World Championships and the silver medal on a number of occasions at European level. They really are a European force. Up there with the likes of Great Britain as one of the top teams from the European zone. Of course, different teams coming into this from different zones all over the world. Ferret spins it to Gerbalak. Gerbalak finds Toprak, who makes perfectly clear that he's being fouled. And the player who plays for Balıkesir in Turkey will go to the line for 2. A lot of the players in this wheelchair basketball competition will play in leagues outside of the country they represent. There's a number of professional leagues around the world. Toprak doesn't make the first. Turkey has some professional teams. It includes players from the USA, from Australia, Spain as well. Toprak couldn't make either of those 2. And with just under 4 minutes left, it's a 10-point difference. More substitutions made by Turkey. R returns to the game. Achar waits to inbound the ball. And in come Renshi Chokai. And the number 11 is Kiyoshi Fujisawa, who plays for the Saitama Lions in Japan. Chokai, a member of Sasebo Wheelchair Basketball Club. Chokai, just 17 years of age. That man isn't 17 years of age, he's double that. In fact, he's over double. 35, Gerbalak. He's stretched the lead, 12 points now. Here's the 17-year-old off the rim, and down it comes. Chokai unable. And the old-timer and the youngster, oh, it's all getting a bit heated. And Gerbalak doesn't like it. Eventually gives a smile. But Chokai showing that he can mix it with the best. Fronting up to Turkey. Takes some doing. They are renowned as a tough team. They're a physical team. That's what they play on. They disrupt teams. They're also superb shooters. That man especially. Gerbalak goes out. I think the Turks, I won't say no they've won it, but they think they've won it at the moment, and you'd have to agree. 3:38 left in the final quarter. It's Pool A, the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games, men's wheelchair basketball. Achar, right-hand side. Fujimoto just pretending not to look at him, but he's very much guarding Achar, who finds Toprak, and Toprak continues to show good form. This number 7, exciting player, who won bronze at the European Championships in 2012. Fujimoto. Toyoshima. Oh, lovely pass, and there is the youngster Renshi Chokai. Made his debut in the Youth Games for Japan back in 2013. Shooting for both just going a little bit awry, and then Ferret picks up the basketball and finds Toprak once more. Gazinci misses everything. Poor from Cem Gazinci on that occasion. The man that speaks 3 languages, Gazinski. Azerbaijani, Turkish and English. And there he is, speaking a little too closely to Kozai and giving away the foul. Selim Sayak returns to the action. 14 points now. Japan have to make up here if they are going to get their first win of the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Kozai, over it goes to Fujimoto, who almost jumps in his chair. You're not allowed to lift out of the chair, but you can make the chair tilt, as Kozai tried to do that. Sorry, Fujimoto tried to do that. You'll see it done adeptly by the best players in the world. Sayak got knocked out of his chair and returned very, very quickly indeed. Ferret swings the ball to Gazinci. The shot clock ticking down. He's going to have to get a shot away. He does so, and it's good for two. And that's all it needs. There was about 1.5 seconds left on the shot clock, and Cem Gazinci helped himself to 2 points. 61-45. It's out to a 16 points difference now. Timeout called, and Turkey are running away with this one as Gazinci beats the buzzer for another two. 16 to Turkey, 45 Japan.
Less than 2 minutes to the end of the game. Turkey 61, Japan 45. Temos de cestinhas do jogo até agora, pelo lado japonês, o capitão Fujimoto com 20 pontos. Pelo lado turco, camisa 5, Mirkula com 23 pontos até agora.
What an impact that man, Kandalai, had on the game. Not so much in defence, but he's scored some very important baskets, as has Oscar Gerbalak, who shot that one. Toyoshima will be unlucky to lose today, working incredibly hard for his team. Inside the last 2 minutes of the match now, Japan and Turkey. Japan 45, Turkey 61. And they need some big three-pointers here, the Japanese, to edge back into this one. It's unlikely. Of course, as a point of order, inside the last 2 minutes, every time there is a stoppage in play, the clock will stop completely, even if it's just the basket being scored and play continuing, which would normally mean the clock runs. Toyoshima there. That's definitely a foul. People often ask how much contact can be made between the chairs in wheelchair basketball. Well, technically it's a non-contact sport, although there is contact between the chairs at times. But that one definitely a foul. A charge by Toyoshima. The spin and effort from Fikri Gundogdu. It's gone a little bit flat at the end of this one. The Japanese, I think they know they're beaten. Gazinci picks up the foul. He won't mind too much. He knows that his team will come away with the first win of the competition for them. 14-4 in the final quarter for the Turks. That is significant, because the whole way through we had no bigger difference than 4 points a quarter. Make that 14-6 in the quarter, 61-47 now. A young man making a big name for himself, Renshi Chokai. And this will run away for Gazinci. Oh, he picks it up brilliantly and finds Gondogdu once more. Gazinci off the glass, 2 points. Game setter match now for the Turks, 63-47. No way back for Japan. It's all over bar the shouting. Kozai. Kozai up, doesn't go anywhere that time. The continental clash in Great Britain early this year. Kozai picked up 14 points against Australia at 33%. 19 points against Great Britain, so he's a player who can score big. And as we head into the last 20 seconds, sadly for him today, only 11 in the game. Turkey have done their homework and defended the Japanese star well. Gerbalak knows there's only 12.4 seconds left. He will not be worrying at this point. 16 points the difference. And Turkey will get 2 shots as the Japanese are in foul trouble and they run their bench. On comes the number 1 for the first time, Kemal Khan Safak, 23-year-old from Adana. Oscar Gerbalak puffs his cheeks and ruffles the net once more. And with a wink and a smile, he knows his team are on the perfect start here. And the perfect shot. 65-47. Japan have been brave. They've been inventive, but it's not been enough for them today. Toyoshima, well, he has been probably the outstanding player in real terms. Oh, nearly going from the Turks, hitting the rim as a buzzer beater from Gerbalak, but he didn't need it anyway. Turkey have comfortably beaten Japan here in Pool A at the wheelchair basketball for the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. In the end, they did it in style, 18-8 in the fourth quarter. 65-49 the score. The crowd show their appreciation for 2 fantastic teams. Leading the way for the Japanese was Fujimoto with 22 points. For the Turks, Gerbalak 25 points and Gajinski 14.